done woke up, slept on me, trying to eat with vultures. Y'all look frail, let me feed the culture. Can't get full of the lead and coke, huh? Still sober? Y'all OD, follow me. Where the rain follow me, king. Yeah, I know the king, Martin Luther King. You ain't really gonna throw, boy, you in a dream. Wake up, y'all don't want it. Down to the white, I better put Marlo on it. And let's soon Chico Hilo, homie. And if I'm scared, I guess I don't know it. Cause I'm still going still right where the heat at. And where I ain't supposed to be, that's where I be at. And I spit that, sit back, listen to the truth for the sky crack, and the Lord gets back. Or somebody wants to get back, and they click clack, leave it been back, thinking I just intact. Never left, but I've been back, cross on my big neck, and I don't rap gospel, I live that. But I'm nothing but a gimmick. You see me in a club, funny, you was in it. Skip a cosign, shout out to the homie Kendrick. And all I hear is crickets when I run into the critics. Oh well, show tells me a lot when they tell me to rock. Keep my eyebrows raised, smell what I'm cooking. And the sales may drop, yeah, the mail may stop, but they ask for the truth, yeah, I'm a dork. They like how you do that now. Sound kinda nice, boy, who that down? Is everything real good, true and fair? But you probably wouldn't listen if you knew that down. If you knew that down.
Just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest. The heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Of course. Oh my goodness, man. Block by the coast, keep your hands and keep your chin tucked. One only goes with the shadow in the front. Hope you're having a blessed day. I got to get this live out the way, man, because I was going to go work out and there's no way I'm going to get it in, bro. There's no way. So I got to do a quick one, man. I have to speak on this topic, man, because look, man, I'm going to be 100% real down the middle and show you why I believe truly in my heart that this is the problem that we have in boxing. Number one, I think let me start with Canelo. It's only right, before I even speak on it, that we hear exactly what he says before I say anything. You know what I mean? So you guys probably seen it already, but I'm going to play it. It's a minute long. I listen to his words exactly, because when I'm listening to him talk, I have mixed feelings about it, but I'm going to be dead ass regardless. It don't matter. It don't matter whether I'm a Canelo fan or not. Don't matter. I got to speak it right down the middle. So this is what he said at the press conference in regards to David Benavidez. Now, he knew, let's make it clear, he knew very well that he was going to be asked about Dave Benavidez. There's no way he didn't think he wasn't going to be asked about Dave Benavidez. So here goes what he said.
Is this true? Let me know if this is true or if people are wrong. Is it true you offered $5 million for a Benavidez fight and then you guys didn't hear back?
No, nothing is true. I don't know
how that came. Yeah.
And
I think the dad said, "Oh, they offered us $5 million," and
no, never.
Okay.
Not that I know, and I know everything.
Question over here.
Okay, to piggyback off the offer, were you ever offered anything from Benavidez camp?
Nothing. And who is he for offering me the money?
Right.
Who is he?
It was said it was 55.
Yeah, but who is he to offer me? And if he offered that amount, he said that amount I can make with anybody. So that's nothing.
You don't think that's the one of the biggest fights that can be made?
I don't. Maybe. Who knows? But he brings nothing to the table for me. just he brings just 25 pounds more in the night, the fight on the night. That's it. But if some promoter, not him because he's nothing to offer me anything.
Canelo, ¿cómo te sientes?
He's nothing to offer me money. You know, I'm the one. So, but if one promoter who I work to, they come and say, I offer to you 150 to 200 million, I fight tomorrow.
Canelo,
That's the only reason I fight with him, because the only thing he brings to the table is 25 more pounds.
Canelo, I think this is a great fight that the Mexican fans are going to enjoy, but is there any pressure to make the fight? We're speaking about Benavidez because you got people like
pressure.
Mike Tyson and even
pressure.
Ryan Garcia. They said Ryan Garcia said if he was you, he would already fight Benavidez. Mike Tyson said you need to fight him. Is there any
I
pressure
don't
in
need
terms
to
of
fight
people?
anybody. I don't need to prove anybody anything, because I remember when this happened with Golovkin, and then it happened with this. So I don't need to prove anything with anybody. So this fight with Jaime Munguia, you need to respect it, because this fight is more important than other fights. So it is what it is. And you remember when you guys asking me for Golovkin, and I fought with Golovkin, and then Callum Smith, and then Billy Joe Saunders, and then Caleb Plant, and then so never is enough for you guys. But I don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore.
Okay. Let me start by saying this, man. Make sure my audio is good though, right? Let me start by saying this. Yeah. My audio is good. Hey, look, man. There's no way I can listen to what he said and don't think that he don't want to fight David, bro. Now, what's funny about this whole thing, bro? What's funny about it is I feel like it's just bad. It's bad for boxing, bro, all the way around. It's bad for boxing all the way around, because it's not just happening in boxing. This is not just happening in boxing. This is also happening. I was talking about it yesterday. This is also happening in the MMA community with John Jones and another heavyweight champion. It's not just that, but even with Sean O'Malley and all these other guys, I've been paying more attention to the UFC lately, and it's kind of crazy. I know MMA is not just UFC, but I've been paying attention to it, and bro, the similarities that have been going on is kind of crazy. You know, so they Sean O'Malley, I think he's what is he, like the lightweight champ or something like that? But there's a guy that's been a number one contender for a long period of time. His name is Marab or something like that. And stylistically, he's a bad matchup for O'Malley. And the UFC knows this, but however, Marab is one of these grappler guys. So if he gets you down in it's a boring fight. Let's just put it like that. It's a boring fight. They know they don't want that guy to be champion. So they're like purposely trying to keep this guy away from the champ. And that, mind you, that is in an entity that is where it's one banner. There is just one promotion. I can't listen to what Canelo said, but in regards to Canelo, man, I can't. There's no way I could listen to that conversation and don't think that the man don't want to fight David. The problem that I have is this. The reason why I'm always so, I would say, on my guard to talk about Canelo the way that some people do, the reason why I do that is because I watch myself very, very closely, right? Regardless of how big my channel is, regardless of how small it is, I watch what I say because I don't want to look like a fool. Two things can be right, by the way. He don't want to fight David, obviously. It looks like that to me. He doesn't want to fight David. Now, whatever the reason may be is the reason it may be. But when you have people now, you got people, you knew this was going to happen. Remember when I said he's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't, right? Now you have people calling up on fucking outlets. What, bro, I heard somebody say, was it on the Boxing Voice or was it on Coach's channel? I heard somebody call up and say, man, today's a great day for me. Today's a great day for me. I've been telling everybody this. This man's a fraud. This man's a fraud. This is where, hold up a second. This is where the shit becomes comical. Yes, the man doesn't want to fight David. Obviously, I'm looking at it. The man don't want to fight David. Do you know how you sound, though? Calling the man that's done the most a fraud, bro. Do you know how you fucking sound, though? Some of y'all. Two things can be right at the same time, bro. Two things can be right. But if you you do realize, right, that if you shame that man, you do realize if you try to shame this man, you're shaming the whole fucking sport because nobody's done more. So yeah, I think he doesn't want to fight David, bro. It's obvious. Nobody's gonna pay $200 million. Let's make this clear. Nobody's gonna pay $200 million. I don't even know if the guy from Saudi Arabia is gonna pay $200 million. However, I believe didn't Tyson Fury get some crazy ass amount? But I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay. So I'm watching this and I'm like, obviously you could tell that Canelo's irritated. He's irritated, right? He knew that he was going to be asked about David. And you know how you know he was irritated and trying to hold it in? You know how you know? When you go back and watch that interview, some lady's trying to talk on the left. If you go back, right? Because he's got his shades on. Some lady's trying to talk while he's talking. And I don't know if she was going to ask him another question, but he kind of like went like this, like, hey, let me get this shit out. You know, let me get this out. He's saying, listen, I've been through this before. I've been through this before with Triple G. You guys tried to shame me into fighting Triple G. I fought the man, right? Not only did I fight him, I fought him twice. Now I fought him 3 times, right? Somebody says, do you agree David would be the biggest fight? He says, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But notice how he also shot. And you want to know how I know he's telling the truth? Because he shot down something that would have made him look good. He shot that down too. If you remember what was going around, right? What was going around was that Samson Lukowicz was going to offer him 55, 60 million, some crazy ass number, right? We also heard that he turned down 5 million. That Benavidez turned down 5 million. Remember, he said, I'll do whatever I can to get the fight, right? So Canelo shot that down too. He shot down everything. He said, nah, we didn't send no offer. He said, we didn't send no offer. So he's shooting that down too. So that's why I believe Canelo in that aspect. He said, none of it's true. We ain't never sent him no offer for 5 million. And definitely I ain't getting no offer for 55, 60 million. Where I disagree is this, bro. And this is where I talk about the generations, bro. There's always been a time in a sport where a fighter avoided a fighter, but not like how it is today. Let's just keep everything 100, bro. I remember when Lennox Lewis was trying to fight Riddick Bowe. Was it Riddick Bowe who threw his belt in the garbage? It was Riddick Bowe, right? Riddick Bowe threw his belt in the garbage because he didn't want to fight Lennox Lewis. I remember Mike Tyson coming out openly saying, I don't want to fight Riddick Bowe. That's my friend. So we had rare occasions where this shit would happen, right? But today it's different, bro. And I'm going to tell you that I don't agree with what Canelo said, but I already know what they're doing to him, which is hilarious because it hurts the whole sport of boxing. The man doesn't want to fight David. Now, for whatever reason you want to say that it is, I don't think it really matters. I've already told you why I think it is. I don't think he's scared. I just think just everything that's going on with the shit talking and everything, and realize Canelo's not stupid. He's not a stupid man. You notice how he brought up in that conversation. I've been through this before. You know, and I know that it's never going to end. Remember, he started naming Triple G. He named Caleb Plant. He named all these other guys. This is the problem I have with this community. The problem that I have. 2 things can be right, bro. The man don't want to fight David, right? That's okay. It's not okay that I'm not saying that's okay, but I'm saying he doesn't want to fight David, right? Well, you got these people that call up now and they're like celebrating almost And then they sit there and call him a fraud. Well, motherfucker, if he a fraud, who not? If he's a fraud, let me pull up the picture for you. If this man is a fraud, right? They say so now he's a fraud. You can't take one fight and take all his accomplishments away, bro. That's not how this shit works. That's not how it works, man. Yo, these dudes, bro. Listen, if you're mad that he don't want to fight David, that's 100%. That is 100% valid. 100% valid excuse. You have every right as a fan to be upset, bro. Every right to be upset. But to call him a fraud and to take all his accomplishments, what the fuck? If he's a fraud, then who's not? Then who's not? I say. I mean, damn, bro. Like, okay, so before I get into the ducking situation, for these people calling up, talking about, I knew this man was a fraud. I told you from the beginning. I told you this man, his whole career is fabricated. He don't want to fight this man. He don't want to fight this man. He cherry-picked his whole career, right? This is what they're saying. This is what I'm hearing people say. I'm not making this up. I'm hearing people say this, right? I'm hearing people call up and go, hey man, today I told y'all. First of all, I hate it when a motherfucker call up and go, I told y'all, as if we know him. Motherfucker, I don't know you. What you mean you told me? You didn't tell me nothing. I don't even know who you are. And so, so they're saying this man is a fraud. Some people. This man's a fraud. His whole career has been fabricated. All he done is cherry-picked his whole career. Okay, for those people that are saying that, if this man is a fraud, then which one of these guys is it? Which one? And I only put Shakur in there with this whole what people argue. I'm only putting the fighters on that I see a lot of people argue about or whatever, or that has caused controversy in the past, whether it's Tyson Fury and Usyk, whether it was Crawford, whether it was Spence, whether it was Canelo and David, whether it was Tank and Devin, whether it was Shakur and Devin, whether it was Shakur and Tank, right? There's a lot of other fighters I could put on there, by the way. There's a lot more fighters I can put up there. I just took a handful. You could say to me, listen, the man doesn't want to fight David. That is obvious. But so now you take that and you try to shame his whole career. This is where y'all look stupid, though. Because how can you shame a man that's done more than 95% of the fucking sport? Like, you guys sound ridiculous, bro. For a lot of y'all sound ridiculous. You really do. I can say at the same time, bro, he don't want to fight David. What am I going to take his whole? Well, I'm going to take his whole career away now because of that. I'm going to take his whole career away now because he doesn't want to fight one man. This is why a lot of these young fighters don't even want to put their O on the line. This is why. They don't want to put it on the line because if they lose, this is what happens. Anytime, this is why it's like, when you win, you on top of the world, bro. This is why people say you're only as good as your last fight. This is why people say you're only as good as your last fight. You could knock out 40 straight. You could knock out 40 opponents in a row in the first round. Let your ass lose on that 34 on the 41st fight. Let you lose that. They will act like you didn't do that 40 times. That's what they will do. So let's go over with what he said, by the way. He said David brings nothing to the table other than 25 pounds. I found that kind of funny. That was kind of a funny shot right there. I don't like the whole A-side thing in this generation. I really don't. I hate it, bro. I hate it. I hate this whole I am this and that. A lot of fighters are using money as an excuse to not fight who we want them to fight. That is the truth. And it's not just Canelo doing that. And this is why I say, if you're going to hold one person to everything, if you're going to hold one person accountable, let's hold everybody accountable, bro. Let's hold everybody accountable. You act like Terrence Bud Crawford has never used money as an excuse not to fight somebody. You act like Tyson Fury has never done that. I'm not saying it's okay, but what I'm saying is if you're gonna call this man a fraud, right? If you're gonna call him a fraud, let's just keep it a buck. You're gonna call him a fraud. You're gonna call him all this. You're gonna say he cherry picked his whole career, right? Then you best say the same for Bud Crawford and Tank, even Tyson Fury's resume. You best say that, because if you don't, you look stupid. You look stupid, because people think just because they don't like a fighter or they never heard of him, if he's a champion, he's a champion, right? How the hell this man, you go back 12 fights, right? And out of the 12 fights, he's fought like what, 10 or 9 champions? Now, because it's not the champions you like, that doesn't matter. Because if we go back to Crawford or Tanks or even Tyson Fury's, right? You see what I'm saying? This is the problem when you start trying to shame this man and take his whole career away. This is the problem with that. When you call him a fraud and you say, oh, he cherry picked his whole career, if you do that to him, you damn near got to do it with every other fighter, bro. You damn near got to do it with every other fighter. What other fighter in this sport, if you go back 12 fights, has fought how many champions? 9 or 10? What other fighter right now? What fighter right now? Go back. How many champs have they fought in the past 12 fights? Who? So you look kind of stupid when y'all do that. That's just my opinion, bro. Like, you look stupid as fuck when you try to shame somebody's whole career over one thing. Yeah, it looks like, bro, he obviously, when I watch that, he don't want to fight David, bro. He don't want to fight David. I don't know the reason why. I told you why I think why. I think it's a culmination of things. I don't like the whole, well, because his father's talking shit, I don't want to fight him. I don't like that, bro. I don't like that. However, the truth of the matter is that is the reality that we're in. He holds the cards. Okay, fine. He holds the cards. That's fine. He said he obviously doesn't want to fight David. So now what happens, right? Should he be called out on it? Absolutely, right. Rightfully so, he should. But when people start acting like they celebrating and this whole man's career is a fraud, bro, you look stupid, bro. You look stupid. You can't, if you do that to him, tell me who should we be praising then? Tell me, other than maybe Inouye, and you already know how this community feels about the lower weight classes. You know also what I find ironic? A lot of the people that were calling up, and when I say calling up, I'm talking about there was since this news has broke, right? Or since the press conference was made live to everybody, right? Of course, I'm going to watch a lot of the larger channels. They're the ones that hold a lot of people. They don't necessarily hold the opinion of the whole damn community, but you at least watch them and you can actually tell what people are thinking. 90% of the people that try to shit on Canelo, they don't even know like who he fought. They don't even know like where he was born, his age. It's kind of funny. If you're going to shit on somebody, at least know the facts before you shit on somebody, bro. So if you're going to call this man a fraud, I'm just asking. I'm asking these people. I'm asking them. If you're going to call him a fraud and say his whole career was orchestrated, then please point me to the man that we should be watching. Please. Point me to that guy. Who is it? Is it Tank? Is it Devin? Is it Tio? Is it Ryan? How about Tyson Fury? How about Jamal Charlo? Or Boo Boo? Oh, how about David Benavidez? Who? If you're going to keep the same energy with somebody, keep the same energy with everybody across the board. So now, these same people that you see saying what they're saying will be the ones that will be making excuses for Tank and Crawford and everything like that. They're the same ones, bro. They're the same ones, and it's just it's hilarious to me, man. Like I watch this shit and it's comical. Like I honestly think some of these people that call up or some of these people that go in front of the camera, I honestly think they psych themselves up before like they hit record. They just like it's like a different persona or some shit. It's like that's not even you, bro. You don't believe that. You don't believe what's coming out of your mouth, bro. And if you do, bro, then there's something wrong with you because it's like I don't understand, bro. So if I knock out 35 people in the first round and I lose my 36th fight, right? Y'all gonna act like I didn't do that 35 times? Is that what you're telling me? You're just gonna forget everything? Is that how that works? Oh, I didn't know that's how that works. I didn't know that's how this community works, bro. Well, that was my next look. My next thing is this. I think it's a ridiculous number. Reason why I say that is because I think we all know David. Listen, the one thing he's telling the truth on, and a lot of people keep skipping over this. I see a lot of people keep skipping over this. He's telling the truth when he says David brings nothing to the table. Is the man lying? Two things can be truthful. Like it doesn't have to be black and white. He could be avoiding somebody, and this could still be the truth on this side. That man doesn't bring really anything to the table, bro. He really doesn't. It's a fight everybody wants to see. But I had been showing you over the past couple of months multiple. I've shown you multiple, not one, not two, but maybe 3 or 4. I've showed you 4 different instances where I said it didn't really matter what the man did. I showed you yesterday. You got channels saying he ducked Crawford. You had people saying he was avoiding Boo Boo and Jamal. He did go through that with Triple G for a period of time. If he beat David, you know damn well, maybe some people would give him respect. Maybe some. It's just going to go on to somebody else. That's to me, that's no excuse for me not to see the fight. I want to see the fight, bro. $200 million, especially in the way boxing is right now with pirating and stuff like that. I don't see who's going to pay that. Who's going to pay that? Bob? Al? Oscar? I don't even think Eddie Hearn would do that. And Eddie Hearn has been known for overpaying fighters. I think he gave Boo Boo like some crazy ass guarantee. And Boo Boo was fighting absolutely nobody. So I see a man that's frustrated, bro. I see a man, he's just frustrated. You know what? I've always wondered why he was like that, but now I know. Now I know why he only really focuses on his people. Because even his people get on him. You have even Mexicans calling him a shameful fighter and all this other shit. But now I know why his mentality is the way that it is. Because he knows that no matter what the fuck he does, they're going to say something. Nobody's never completely satisfied. It's no excuse not to fight David. But now I understand why the man does some of the things that he does, bro. Now I understand. And you wonder why some of these young fighters don't want to put their O on the line. First off, if you're a fighter, you shouldn't care what other people think, but that shit is kind of hard. I want you to think about it. That is kind of hard. Just say you lose a fight, you wake up the next morning, there's memes all over the place. Shadow Ghost got knocked out, right? That's going to get to you. You're a man. But it's filled with a bunch of hatred and snakes, this whole damn community, bro. You can say the man is ducking, but how can you take away his whole career? So I wish I can talk to one of these guys that literally say, if he doesn't fight, have you heard this? If he doesn't fight David, his whole career is they say something like that. Have you heard that yet? If he doesn't fight David, What do you mean if he don't fight David his whole career? What? So if you don't fight one guy, they should take the Hall of Fame away from him now, right? He never was a champ in 4 weight classes. He never went undisputed because he didn't fight one guy. What makes that even more hilarious is that if you're saying that about him, oh, we could play that game. We could play that game with a lot of fighters. Well, Tank don't want to fight Devin. Crawford don't want to fight Boots. Devin don't want to fight Teal. Teal don't want to fight you see what I'm saying? We could do that with everybody. So how dare some of y'all try to shame this man's whole career because he just doesn't want to fight one guy? I don't agree with it. I want to see him fight the guy. I think 200 million is a ridiculous number. I don't know who's going to pay 200 million, especially in a time of piracy. Like, so obviously you look at the possibilities of what's going on. He either said that and didn't mean it, which would make him look bad, right? He either said that and he meant it. He could have just said it right now because he knows that if he doesn't say something like that, they're going to keep asking him about David. Let's not forget that I think it was last year or a year and a half ago where Canelo was somewhere and they came up to him and they kept asking him about David and he got mad. He got mad. He shut the whole interview down. He said, bro, if you keep asking me about David, you keep asking me about this kid, bro, it's over. You remember how he got annoyed with Boo Boo, right? The things I don't agree with this whole. The one thing I don't agree with this generation is this whole, well, he hasn't done anything. Well, if you're a mandatory or whatever, bro, then yeah, then he has. It's hard for me to believe you when you say this guy hasn't done anything, but he's your mandatory, bro. So I disagree with you on that, Canelo. Like no. Like when you say he doesn't bring nothing to the table, he's your. I don't know how long he was your mandatory before, but I know he's your mandatory now. I know he's your mandatory now. And if a person is a mandatory, I don't believe like we should be fucking trying to break your arm to fight somebody, bro. But also at the same time, y'all trying to take his whole career away. Like you guys sound funny to me, man. You sound funny to me. Right before I went live, because I went live because I'm about to go to the gym. I wanted to get this live out the way because if I went to the gym and I came back, I wasn't going to do this live. So I said, let me do a quick live. Let me get it out the way, right? But before I went live, I was watching the boxing. Who was live? The Boxing Voice was live. I think Showbiz was live earlier. I think Coach is live, right? I'm just surfing. I'm surfing, just listening to what people got to say, right? And I don't know if it was the Boxing Voice or if it was Coach. I forgot who it was. It's not them. Coach didn't say, the caller. I heard somebody call up. One person called up and said he woke up today. Today's a great day. He's real happy, this and that. And then said, this man's whole career is a fraud. I've been telling everybody, and he does the same thing that Tank does. What? Bro, that don't even sound right. Tank has never even held a major title, bro. He's never been unified, never went undisputed, nothing. How are you gonna put him on the same? This is what I'm saying, bro. I don't understand. What do you mean? If you look up Tank's accomplishments and put it next to Canelo, I mean, damn, you'll be turning the pages with Canelo's accomplishments. Tank shit is on the forefront of the book. Shaming Canelo with Tank. That's what we've come to. That's kind of funny, man. That's really kind of funny to me. Oh my goodness, bro. I don't know what the LDBBBC is. Is that some acronym for something? LD LDBBBC? Now the only acronym I have for this community is damned if you do, damned if you don't community. That's what it is. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a fighter. I don't care if you're a content creator. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So if I came out here, bro, and I said everything that you wanted me to say, you would say facts. But somebody else would say, fuck you, Shadow Ghost. You're a fucking, you don't know shit about boxing, right? And if I did the opposite, then you're gonna say that. You see what I'm saying? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So just be yourself, bro. I be myself. I be myself. Fact of the matter is, I'm gonna say this. I'm looking at what Canelo says, and it's obvious to me he don't want to fight David. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a man that's aggravated. But I'm also seeing people take that and then try to break the whole man's how can you sit there and take away all his accomplishments and then sit there and try to shame him with Tank or somebody? Like, y'all sound ridiculous, bro. Some of y'all sound ridiculous because I put it like this. So let's play this game. Let's play this game. I'm interested to see what some of y'all will say in the title in the comments. Let's play this game then. I'm gonna ask a question, and y'all can answer it in the comments. The few of y'all that's here. If Canelo's whole career is a duck and a fraud, then who's not? Let me just put a couple fighters up there for you. So who should we be following right now? That's leading by example. Who? Tell me. I want to see where y'all boxing knowledge is at, bro. So I only put a handful of fighters up on there. If his career is a shame and he's nothing but a duck and he cherry picked his whole career, right? And he's a foul example of a champion, then I'm asking you, who should we be following then? Who is the guy? No, Tycho. Then you haven't been paying attention, brother. You haven't. You're not saying that. You're not saying that. No, people are saying that. People are saying that. They are saying that. I literally just, bro, right before I went live, I heard somebody say that. One guy was like, hey, listen, we've been saying if he don't fight David, his whole career is in question. That sounds fucking ridiculous, bro. Another guy said, look, he doing the same thing that Tank is doing. That sounds ridiculous too. Tank ain't never even been unified or undisputed or never even held a major belt. All I'm saying is you could say the man is a duck because obviously he don't want to fight David. From what I'm hearing, he don't want to fight David. What I don't get is the people that take that and then they try to shame the whole man's career because you sound fucking stupid. You sound stupid. Because if you're shaming his whole career, then who are we supposed to exemplify? Who? Tell me, bro. Tank? Bud? We could play that game with all these guys, bro. Bud don't want to fight Boots. Tank don't want to fight Devin. Damn near had to pull Tyson Fury's arm to get him in the ring with Usyk. We could play this game with everybody, bro. So stop. Y'all need to stop. If we're going to keep it 100, let's keep it 100 down the fucking middle, bro. Let's keep it. Listen, I'm saying he don't want to fight David. But I can say the same for a lot of these guys. I can point you to a lot of instances where I feel like this dude did not want to fight that dude. I showed you yesterday, a video where they're saying that he ducked Crawford. Crawford ain't never even fought at 154, 160, or 168. How he ducking a man 3 weight classes below him? This is weird to me, man. These dudes are weird. I mean, the man, there's no way you can listen to his conversation and don't think he don't want to fight David, bro. There's no way. I can't watch what he said and don't think he don't want to fight David. It's just like, who's going to pay? Okay, let's not even take 200 million. Let's take 150 million. Who's going to pay 150 million, Canelo? You know nobody's going to pay that. But I will say this. If anybody was to get or deserve 150 million, it would be him. It would be him. I think what people forget is how active the man is, bro. How active he is. How active are these other fighters? Like everyone talks about activity, right? Listen, this is what I don't understand. So let me get this straight. Some of y'all disregard his opponents. Why? I want to know I'm trying to understand. The opponents that were champions that he fought, you guys are disregarding them. Why? Because they're white or they're from Europe? I'm trying to understand. Maybe you can enlighten me. All these champions that you guys just disregard. You guys just disregard them like this. You're just like Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, right? You just disregard them like that, right? I'm trying to understand why are you disregarding them? Like why? Why are you doing that? They were undefeated. They were in their prime. I don't get it. Like why? What did you want him to do when he went to 168? David had lost his belt twice on the scale at that point. So what did you want him to do in that situation? This is what I don't understand with some of y'all. Like I'm trying to understand how some of y'all think, because some of y'all, it doesn't make any sense to me. They're not nobodies, Tycho. See, this is the problem, Tycho. Okay, let's go to you know what, Tycho? Let's go. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, brother. Give me another fighter. Give me another fighter right now. Besides Inoue, give me another fighter right now. Go ahead. Let's pull up these resumes and see how many champions they fought in the past 12 fights. You say Canelo fought nobody's. Come on, brother. Come on. You see, that's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying. You two things can be right, bro. You can say the man is ducking, but you ain't got to shit on his whole fucking career, bro. Because if that's the case, bro, whose career are we supposed to look at? Who? I want to pull them side by side. No. Okay. Fine. Right. First off, Ryder was a mandatory. But even we could take, I'll give you that. You say Ryder's a nobody. You know what's so funny about that, Tycho? You know what's so funny about that statement? Ryder is like better than 80% of the opponents of the guys you guys try to shame Canelo with. So let's pull up Canelo. Who? Tell me who, Tycho. I want to know, who do you want me to pull up next to Canelo's resume? And I want to see this guy blast him out the fucking water. I'm waiting, bro. I'm still waiting for the answer. All right. Are you going to give me a fighter? Or are you just going to pick Yildirim and Ryder, right? You're just going to pick Are you going to give me a fighter? No, I'm asking you. You said his whole career. This is what you said. Let me go back to it, brother. You said he don't deserve the 35 he getting versus nobody's. Y'all hold him too high on a pedestal. So I'm asking, if we hold him too high to a pedestal, who is this other guy that we're talking about? That's all I'm asking, Tycho. I want to compare the resumes. That's all I'm trying to do. You know what? You know why it takes forever every time I play this game with y'all? Because y'all can't do it. I'm asking again. Name me another fighter that if we go back 12 fights, he's fought like 9, 10 champions. Name me another fighter right now. That's all I'm asking. That's it. I'm just asking that. I know I'm not going to get an answer. You want to know why? Because there is nobody. That's why. Because there is nobody. The problem with this community is because you see, a person could be criticized. There's no problem with criticizing somebody, but y'all try to tear down everything that the person has done. Everything. But then in the next sentence, y'all praise another fighter, right? Well, when you praise that other fighter, I want to pull up his resume next to his. That's all I'm asking, because you could say the man is a duck, but you're going to shame his whole career? That doesn't sound right. That does over him not fighting David. Okay. So Tank don't want to fight Devin? Crawford don't want to fight Boots? Did Tyson Fury want to fight Usyk? See, y'all don't want to have these conversations with me because we could play that with everybody, bro. That's just a fact, bro. People could get all emotional all they want. People don't like the truth, bro. They don't like the truth. They don't. People get so emotional. The truth is, we can do this with every fighter right now. So if you're wondering, well, why are you bringing up other people? I'm going to tell you why. Because if we're going to shame his whole career for not fighting somebody, then we should hold the same standard to everybody. If that's the case, then Bud Crawford's whole career is in question because he don't want to fight Boots. Tank's whole career, which is kind of funny because Tank hasn't really done much. I don't know how these guys are shaming Tank with Canelo, but that is what it is. But Tank, because he don't want to fight Devin. So we're just going to disregard everything that they've done in their whole career. This is the problem that I'm saying. And then when people say he's fought nobodies his whole career, and I ask, well, can you please just point me to one fighter? And I'm just trying to get this question. I don't understand. For all these people that are boxing hardcores, this should be a very easy question for y'all to answer, because all I've been hearing all day is this man is a fraud and his whole career is a fraud. And I'm just asking, okay, well then name me the fighter fighting right now, right? And let's go back their last 12 fights and let's see how many champions they have. That's it. That's all I'm asking. It's very simple. The name should pop up like this, since he's such a fraud and he's such a nobody. It should just come up like that. But people don't want to have this conversation because they're emotional. They're emotional. I want to see the fight. The man is avoiding the man. I'm going to shame his whole career now because of it? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. I said it. No. I said if anybody was, it would be that man. Okay, so who would deserve it over him? Who would deserve it over him? Fury? Crawford? Tank? Who? That's what I'm saying, Tycho. Listen, Tycho, brother, listen to me. We're on the same page when it comes to David Benavidez and Canelo. I want to see the fight. The man, there's no way you could watch that interview and don't think the man doesn't want to fight David. There's no way. We're on the same page there, brother. Do you understand? We're on the same page there. Where we start to go like this, is when I see people try to shame the man's whole career. And I say, wait a second, hold on, pump your brakes right there. Because all these other guys, we could point to where they didn't want to fight somebody, or we think they didn't want to fight somebody. Crawford don't want to fight Boots. Tank don't want to fight Devin. So am I going to just take away Crawford's 2-time undisputed because he doesn't want to fight Boots? I'm not going to do that. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to say he avoided Boots. That's what I'm going to say. Tank, whatever he's done in his career, I'm not going to take that away from him. What I am going to say is he avoided Devin. When you start tearing down his whole resume saying he fought nobodies, then what that implicates? What that implicates, Tycho, when you say he's fought nobodies, what that implicates is that there are other fighters out there currently doing more than him or has done more than him. That's what that implicates, bro. That's what that implicates. And I'm asking, when you say that, so name me these other fighters that have done more, or let's go back their last 12 fights. How many champions have they fought? This doesn't excuse him not wanting to fight David. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is I could say he avoided David, but I'm not going to shame his whole damn career, bro. Because if I did that, I could do that to Crawford. I could do that to Tank. I could do that with Tyson Fury. They had to pull his arm for him to fight Usyk, bro. What, am I going to take away those wins that he had against Wilder because of that? Am I going to take away Crawford's reign at 140 and him being undisputed at 147 because he doesn't want to fight Boots? That would be unfair. That would be like, so what are you saying? So he loses all of his accomplishments because he doesn't want to fight one person. That's the problem where me and you veer, brother. That's where we veer. I want to see him fight David. I'm looking at him. He's avoiding David. It's clear as day. Where I stop though, where I stop is when people start saying his whole career is in question. He's a fraud. He's a cherry pick, because what that implicates is that there's other people out there doing more than him. And that implicates that their resume is better than his. And I'm telling you, there is nobody, bro. There is nobody. You cannot name a current fighter right now. This is another problem people have. Because they don't like the person, they disregard their accomplishments. If you say, oh, he beat Caleb Smith, an undefeated you know what they're going to say? Oh, but he's white and from Europe. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? That has absolutely nothing to do with him being undefeated and being a champion. Nothing. All that shows is your ignorance. That's all that shows. It shows ignorance, bro. It's pure ignorance. And a lot of y'all look like hypocrites, bro. Y'all look like hypocrites. You do the same shit. So now, because he doesn't want to fight David, his whole career is a fraud. And he fought nobodies. That's just crazy. That's just crazy thinking to me, man. That is just insane thinking. No wonder why some of these champions don't want to put their O on the line, bro. No wonder why. No wonder why. I wouldn't want to put my O on the line either. Or I might as well disconnect my internet for a year if I lose. No, Tycho, not you, brother. Listen, you did say he fought nobodies. No, but people are, Tycho. You're not understanding, brother. Have you been watching other outlets today? You watch any of the larger ones? You know, I watch the ones where people call up. Have you been hearing some of the crazy? First off, some of it sounds like a celebration, which is fine. You know, people don't like Canelo. But it's the hypocrisy that gets me, bro. It's the hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. Yes, the man don't want to fight David. Yes, he don't want to fight David. You could say, hey, he a duck, he this, he duck, right? He ducked David. You still can't find another fighter if you go back 12 fights who's fought more champions than him. That's my point. So these people that are trying to shame his whole career, y'all look stupid. And not only that, but you basically are shitting on the whole sport. Because this man that y'all calling a fraud is considered the face of boxing. I mean, hey, Tycho, let me ask you a question, Tycho. Let me ask you a question. And you know I love talking with you, bro. And you know I fuck with you, bro. Let me ask you, Tycho. Say you worked for me, Tycho, all right? Say you worked for me and you're my best worker. I want you to think of this. You worked for me for like 3 years, 4 years. You're like the top earner at my company. The last 6 months you've been, let's say the last 6 months, bro, you've been fucking up. I want you to think about this. The last 6 months you've been messing up. You've been leaving work early or not doing your work completely right. Now, mind you, you've been my best worker for the past like 4 or 5 years. How would it sound if I pulled you in front of all the employees and I tried to shame you and say, all this time that you've worked for me here has been fake. Even those days where you was running the pack and everything like that, all that's fake. All that's fake because of what you just did in this past month. I'm going to take away everything you've done in the past 4 or 5 years because I'm disappointed with you right now. Would that be fair to you? Would that be fair? The fact of the matter is combat sports isn't fair. Business isn't fair. I don't agree with it. I want to see Canelo fight David. I don't agree with people trying to shame his whole career. That's what I don't agree with, bro. Because when you do that, you're implicating when you're saying that, Tycho, and you say he's fought nobodies, okay? Let me go back. If you change what you said, then that's fine. But it's not just you, Tycho, by the way. It's not just you. Hell no. He don't even deserve 35. He getting it versus nobodies. Y'all hold him to a high pedestal. So when I read that, that basically tells me that there's obviously other people right now that when I hear people say his whole career is a fraud and he's nothing but cherry picks, that implicates to me that there's other people right now that if we do a comparison, they're like that. Because if not, then that means the whole sport is messed up. Can you find me an active fighter right now? If you go back 12 fights, who's fought 9? How many champions has he fought in the past 12 fights? How many? Can you find another one? So when people say his whole career is a fraud, it's all orchestrated, it's all cherry picks, so then if that's the case, then we can't say much for anybody else, can we? Can we? That's just keeping it honest right there. We could do a comparison, but I mean, if we want to keep it 100%, it's keeping it real. It's keeping it real. I don't think he wants to fight David. I'm not going to take away his whole career because of that, bro. I'm not going to do that, bro. I'm not going to do that. Jamel Charlo, John Ryder, that's the one that you got a problem with, right? Let's go over here. Okay. So hold on. Let me zoom this up. Okay. So Jamel, let's see. Let's see right here. So Jamel Charlo, I don't know if you're going to give him credit for that, but he didn't even want to fight him, but it is what it is. He's undisputed at 154. John Ryder, who was a mandatory, I understand you got a problem with that. Triple G, right? Mind you, the hypocrisy comes in. This is where the hypocrisy comes in, Tycho. Even the ones that people complain about are better than 80% of most of these fighters on their resume. So if somebody says, oh, he fought Triple G a third time. Okay, so you're telling me people got a whole bunch of Triple G's on their resume? So let me count backwards 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We might as well just go 15. Let me see. I'll stop. I mean, okay. Let's just start. A perfect place to start. He mentioned Triple G yesterday, right? Remember he said, I went through this before with Triple G. So that's a perfect place to start. It's a perfect place to start. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Out of those 13 fights, he fought Triple G. Okay. He fought Rocky Fielding. I know people are going to have a problem with that. He fought Daniel Jacobs. He fought Sergey Kovalev, who was a champion at 175. Callum Smith was undefeated and a champion. Yildirim, who was a mandatory. They got a problem with that, but that's fine. Billy Joe Saunders, who was undefeated and a champion. Caleb Plant, who was undefeated and a champion. Moved up, fought Demetrius Bivol, who was undefeated and lost. went back down, fought Gennady Golovkin a third time, had surgery, came back, fought John Ryder, then fought Jamel Charlo. So if his whole career is orchestrated and a fraud, I'm trying to understand where are these other fighters that are blowing him out the water. Since we're gonna shame him, I mean, we're gonna shame him, right? If we're gonna shame him, let's shame everybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, can I put you? Do you want me to pull up Crawford's, or do you want me to pull up Tanks, or what? Who you want me to pull up? Tyson Fury is we could. Who do you want me to pull up? Let's go back 12. Let's go back 12. Let's go back 12 on Crawford. Let's go back 12 on Crawford. Let's go back. Let's do this. Let's do this. Since we want to shame everybody, we want to shame their whole damn career. Let's just go to Terrence Bud Crawford and let's see what pops up. Let's see. So out of the 13 that Canelo had, how many? Let me count. I'm not going to count who he fought twice as a double champion. I'm just going to count champion. That's it. Okay. Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev, Callum Smith, Billy Joe, Caleb Plant, Dimitri Bivol. I'm not going to count Gennady again because John Ryder, Jamel Charlo, 9. Okay, so 9 champions in the past 13 fights. Okay, so his whole career, he's a cherry picker. It's a fraud. Let's go to somebody else who's a face of boxing or whatever, or I guess something, because that implicates to me that everybody else is doing better than him. Let's go to Bud Crawford and see his last 13 fights, and let's see how many champions he's fought. Let's do this. How about we do this? Okay, let me move this up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, to Crawford's credit, which I've always given him credit, and this is the problem with shaming people. If you got a problem with other fighters because they're not known, or you don't like their name, or you don't like their skin color, if you're going to do that with Canelo, then you have to do that with Crawford, and you have to do it with everybody. And that's going to be the problem that we're going to encounter right now. Felix Diaz, Ndongo was a champion. Jeff Horn was a champion. Jose Benavidez was not. Amir Khan was not. Iris Clevis was not. When he fought Kell Brook, he wasn't. Mind you, the people that Canelo was fighting were current champions. Let me see. How many of them were current champions? Gennady was a current champion. I don't know if Daniel Jacobs was current at the time. I don't know. I got to go back and check that. But I know Sergey was. I know Callum Smith was. I know Billy Joe was. I know Caleb Plant was. I know Dimitri Bivol was. I know Jamel Charlo was. So we got Kell Brook, Sean Porter, David Avanesian, and Errol Spence. I mean, I give him credit. I give him credit for his whole. I give him credit. I'm not going to say because he don't want to fight Boots that his whole career is orchestrated. Although people say that about Bud too, and I feel like that's unfair. No, Tycho. No. Let me catch up, Tycho. No, Tycho. I'm telling you the stuff that I'm seeing, bro. It's just, it doesn't matter. Listen, this is what I mean, though. It doesn't matter if he fought David or not, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, bro. It really doesn't matter if he fought David or not. People are gonna say that. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter, Tycho. Because you know how this community is. So if we're going by big fights, then who's another one that's just been giving us big fights in the past 12? We can do that. We can do that. If you wanna go off like that, that's fine. Who else? Who else in the past 12 fights gave us big fights? I believe, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you when I say that the man is avoiding the man. I'm not with people when they say his whole career is a fucking fake and he's cherry picked his whole career. That's where I differ. That's where I differ. And the reason why I differ with that is because when a person says that, you're implying to me that there's other people that are doing a lot more, and there's not. There's not. That's the truth. If anything, this whole thing is a black eye on the sport, Tycho. It's a black eye on the sport. And I was telling you yesterday, the UFC's got the same thing going on with O'Malley and John Jones and everything. They're frustrated too. Those fans are frustrated too. Like I said, I don't know much about the UFC, but I've been trying to follow it lately. The guy Marab, who I think was Aljamain Sterling's friend, has been in position to fight for that title for how long now? And he didn't because Aljamain had the title. But now that he doesn't have the title, Sugar Sean O'Malley has the title, right? But because he's a product and a name and something that they could push, they're trying to keep this man away from him because stylistically, Marab would beat him because he's a grappler. But then think about it. The champion would be a grappler, and that's a boring champion. And most of the fights would be him just grabbing somebody down to the ground, right? So they're keeping him away. People are frustrated with that. John Jones, I told you yesterday. John Jones, the other guy, Aspinall, has been moving up in the ranks, and he wants to fight John Jones. And the UFC's kind of like holding him away from John Jones, and fans are frustrated. So if anything, it's a black eye on the sport. So when Canelo says he doesn't want to fight David, it's a black eye on the sport to me. But I'm not going to sit there and shame his whole damn career. And look, a perfect example is when you damned if you don't, you damned if you do. I'm keeping it 100% as I can, Tycho. I'm keeping it 100% as I can. But because I'm not trashing his whole damn career, they'll call me this. I don't even know what that means, but I'm pretty sure that's not a nice thing. You know what I mean? No, they want me to get up here, and if I trash his whole career, then I gotta be like that with everybody, though. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the problem. You got frustrated fans, and then you got fans that hate Canelo. Two different things. It's two different things. You got fans that are frustrated because he doesn't want to fight David. Those are hardcore fans that are honestly frustrated. They want to see this fight. But make no mistake, there's another crowd who it doesn't matter what the man does, bro. It doesn't matter what he does. You notice how he says he wants 200 million to fight David, which is a ridiculous number, which is another way of saying I don't want to fight, in my opinion. Now you have people saying, told you, his whole career was a fraud. But that doesn't make sense when they say that. Because if you say that about him, then who else is like has done more or better on their resume than him? And that's why I say it makes the sport look bad overall. It makes the sport look bad. You know, us as fans shouldn't be begging somebody to fight somebody. It makes the sport look bad. But when you get mad and try to shame the whole man's career, you look stupid when people do that, because you could do that with anybody, Tycho. I could tell, look, if that's the case, why don't I make a live going, Crawford's whole career is orchestrated and he was kept safe. And since he didn't want to fight Boots, his whole career is in question. Or what if I said, I can't even list Tank's accomplishments because he doesn't really have that many. But what if I said, all those fights that Tank had, I got to take them away because he doesn't want to fight Devin? That's how that sounds. But if you do that with one, then you should do it with others. Yo, I heard somebody say today. I heard someone say today, hey, I'll keep it real with Tank once y'all start keeping it real with Canelo. as if like he said Canelo's been doing the same as Tank. And I'm listening to him like, what sport have you been watching, bro? Like, what have you been watching? What fights did you watch? Tycho, can I ask you a question? No. Tycho, I am doing the same thing they do, Tycho. If we talk about Tycho, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because the whole point of it is keeping it 100 with everybody else, which, by the way, that's kind of ironic that you say that, because anytime somebody gets on Tank, or anytime somebody gets on Crawford, or anytime somebody gets on anybody, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, well, Canelo does this, well, Canelo does that. I've been seeing that for the past 3-4 years, bro. You talked about anybody, Wilder, anybody. Well, Canelo does this. Well, Canelo does that. That's all they've been doing. And all I'm saying is, okay, so we're going to keep the same energy with him. We're going to keep it with everybody. You want to say that his whole career is orchestrated and he fought nobody because he fought nobodies because he doesn't want to fight David? Then I'm going to say Crawford's whole career is fucking shit because he doesn't want to fight Boots. And Tank's whole career is nothing because he don't want to fight Devin. We can do that with everybody. That's the problem that I have. I don't have a problem saying, yo, he don't want to fight the kid, bro. I veer from you guys when you guys start going, oh, his whole career is a fraud, nothing but cherry picks, nothing but cherry. That sounds ridiculous, bro. That sounds ridiculous, because that implies to me that other people are doing a lot more. And every time I ask this question, nobody puts the fighter in the comment. I noticed that nobody ever puts him in the comment. I'll ask it again. If he's a fraud and he's fought nothing but nobodies, name me a current fighter right now, if we go back 15 fights, that has 9 or 10 champions at the time. You can't. That's why there's never an answer there. That's why nobody never puts anything in the comments, because you can't. And if you can't, then what does that mean? What does that mean? Tycho, why is it so hard? You say it's so hard for me to admit. I'm telling you the man don't want to fight him. I'm telling you the man don't want to fight him. What I'm saying is I'm not going to shame his career. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You want to know why? Number one, it's stupid. Number two, that opens up the door for everybody's career to get shamed, bro. Everybody. Any fighter that you think that has avoided a fighter, we can now take that and tear their whole career apart. That's what that sounds like to me. I'm gonna say Crawford never went undisputed at 147 and 140, or all that is in question because he don't want to fight Boots. That sounds ridiculous. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just say he don't want to fight Boots. That's what I'm gonna say. I give Ryan credit for fighting Devin. I give him credit for fighting Tank and Devin. I do. That's the thing, though, Tycho. I don't, you know me, I don't shame fighters. You know me, Tycho. I don't shame fighters. And what's so crazy is, as soon as this live started, because I didn't shit on Canelo's career, all I said was, yeah, he's avoiding David. How can you not watch that and don't think he's not avoiding David? But because I didn't start off by shitting on his career, somebody threw, oh, you're LDBC something, or I don't know what the hell they said. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't in this community, bro. I hold the same standard for everybody. I say Canelo's avoiding David. I say Crawford is avoiding Boots. I say Tank is avoiding Devin. It's very easy for me to say. But I'll tell you what, if I go, oh, well, he didn't fight David, so therefore his whole career he's a fraud, and he did that, that opens up the door for me to do that with Crawford, Tank, Tyson Fury, most fighters. That opens up the door for him. Okay, how about this? You said it yourself, Tycho. You said it yourself. You said, didn't you say yesterday, which I agree, didn't you say yesterday that Jermell didn't want to fight Tim Tszyu? Didn't you say that? Didn't you say that? because I agreed with you. I actually said, yo, I'm not gonna flat out say he ducked Tim Tszyu, but I'm gonna tell you this: he wasn't in no rush to fight that man. He wasn't in no rush to fight that man, right? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Puto. What did I say when the live started? Matter of fact, you was the first person here. You was the first person here. Let me see. Right here. When I said to you, hey, bro, there's no way you could watch that interview and don't think that Canelo doesn't want to fight David. It's obvious he doesn't want to fight David. And you said, yep. So I'm agreeing with everybody, bro. Where I veer from people is when they start saying, oh, yeah, you see, I told you his whole career was like that. I told you he did that. He did that. But if you do that, then you got to do that with most people, though. Listen, regardless of what you say about that man, he's the only man I've ever known in history. Listen, regardless. Listen, he don't want to fight David. It's very apparent. But regardless of what happens, I will remember Canelo. You know what I'm going to remember in this community? You know what I'm going to remember? And I'm always going to remember this until the day that I die. I'm going to remember a man that went undisputed at 168. And they said he cherry-picked the champions. He cherry-picked the champions, is what they're going to say. I never even understood that comment to begin with, but apparently he cherry-picked champions. Okay. I don't know. I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know. I didn't know that right before you fight a champion, they come up to you with the list of 5 and they're like, all right, listen, we got 5 champions for you. Which one do you want? Which one? Go ahead, just pick. No, he's a champ. You fight him, you get the belt, right? Except for the instances where there's an email belt and other stuff like that, or when a person gets a belt because they're fighting. I don't know, a champion goes in recess because he got injured. So now you got the 2 fighters that are fighting for the belt, right? Then you got those rare occasions where people like Boo Boo were champions in multiple weight divisions, but then it comes out that he's actually never fought a champion for a belt. Yeah, those rare things happen. Those rare things do happen. But for the most part, you get your accomplishments by fighting other fighters that have a belt. What I don't understand is this. Tycho, you know? Okay, perfect. Okay, right. Okay. He didn't flat out come out and say, I don't want to fight Tim Tszyu, but it seemed like that, right? It seemed like that. Now, Canelo is flat out basically, in so many words, Canelo is basically saying, I'm not fighting this kid. That's what I got out of it. And in fact, I don't want to twist the man's words. And since I got to use the bathroom, and you know what? I wasn't going to drop the link because, man, I got to get this workout done, but I'll drop the link for a couple of minutes. But before I touch on the topic, and I got to go use the bathroom, I'm going to play the 1-minute interview. I got to take a piss real quick. I don't want to, I can still hear everything. I don't want to twist this man's words. I want to hear exactly what he said again. So this way, I don't like putting words in anybody's mouth. So here we go.
Is this true? Let me know if this is true or if people are wrong. Is it true you offered $5 million for a Benavidez fight and then you guys didn't hear back?
No, nothing is true. I don't know
how that came. Yeah. I think the dad said, "Oh, they offered us $5 million," and
no, never.
Okay.
Not that I know, and I know everything.
Question over here.
Okay, to piggyback off the offer, were you ever offered anything from Benavidez camp?
Nothing. And who is he for offering me the money?
Right.
Who is he?
It was said that it was 55.
Yeah, but who is he to offer me? And if he offered amount he said, that amount I can make with anybody. So that's nothing.
You don't think that's the one of the biggest fights that can be made?
I don't. Maybe, who knows? But he brings nothing to the table for me. He brings just 25 pounds more in the night, the fight on the night. That's it. But if some promoter, not him because he's nothing to offer me anything.
Canelo, ¿cómo te sientes?
He's nothing to offer me money. I'm the one. So, but if one promoter who I work to, they come and say, I offer to you 150 to 200 million, I fight tomorrow.
Canelo,
That's the only reason I fight with him, because the only thing he brings to the table is 25 more pounds.
Canelo, I think this is a great fight that the Mexican fans are going to enjoy, but is there any pressure to make the fight? We're speaking about Benavidez because you got people like
pressure.
Mike Tyson and
No
even
pressure.
Ryan Garcia. They said Ryan Garcia said if he was you, he would already fight Benavidez. Mike Tyson said you need to fight him. Is there any
I
pressure
don't
in
need
terms
to
of
fight
people?
anybody. I don't need to prove anybody anything, because I remember when this happened with Golovkin, and then it happened with this. So I don't need to prove anything with anybody. So this fight with Jaime Munguia, you need to respect it, because this fight is more important than other fights. So it is what it is. And you remember when you guys asking me for Golovkin, and I fought with Golovkin, and then Callum Smith, and then Billy Joe Saunders, and then Caleb Plant, and then so never is enough for you guys. But I don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore.
Okay, so let me start off with the things that I disagree with. Number one, I disagree. I disagree with 200 million. That doesn't even sound right. That's basically another way of saying I don't want to fight the guy. That's what I get out of that. Okay, I don't want to fight the guy. Now, for whatever reason it is, I don't know. That's what I got out of it. When he says he brings nothing to the table, I don't know if he's talking about, is he talking about money or is he talking about hardware? Either way, both. He doesn't bring nothing to the table, but that, to me, that's no excuse. There's no excuse because he's the mandatory. So I disagree with that. I disagree with most of what he said, bro. I disagree with most of what he said. I cannot watch that and don't think he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight David, bro. So I am in agreement with you there. Where I veer from a lot of people is when they take this situation and then try to shame his whole career. That doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no sense to me. He could still have ducked David and still be a Hall of Famer. Because if we're going to use avoiding a fighter to shame his whole career, damn near we can do that with everybody. Mike Tyson said he didn't want to fight Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe threw his belt in the trash. He didn't want to fight Lennox Lewis. Am I going to shame his whole career for that? No. Am I going to say Crawford never went undisputed at 140 and 147 because he don't want to fight Boots, which he clearly doesn't want to fight Boots. He clearly doesn't want to fight Boots. I'm not going to shame his whole career. But you'll have people say, well, Boots brings nothing to the table, and they'll break the whole business down for you, and then it gets to Canelo, and they're like, duck. That's the hypocrisy I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Tycho. I'm going to hold the same standard for me. I'm going to hold the same standard with everybody. If T.O. ducks somebody, I'm going to say T.O. ducks somebody, bro. I get nothing out of it. The man don't want to fight David, bro. The man don't want to fight David. He's not showing any interest in fighting David. Two things can be true at the same time. The man don't want to fight David. Also, at the same time, you can't find another fighter that if you go back 12 fights that they fought, what do we count? 9, 10 champions? Two things can be right at the same time. if you tear his whole career down for ducking David, right? Then that implies to me that there are other people doing more than him currently at this time. Well, then who? We could pull up the resumes. Canelo should be criticized. Well, I'm gonna speak for me because I want to see him fight David. I think it's ridiculous to say you don't want to fight somebody because the father's talking shit or whatever, bro. Because at the end of the day, he's your mandatory, Canelo. He's your mandatory, bro. Okay. And I'm tired of this generation of feeling like we gotta pull somebody's arm behind their back to fight people. I don't like that, bro. But I'm gonna call it out for him, and I'm gonna call it out for everybody though. I ain't gonna pick and choose. I'm not gonna pick and choose and go, okay, well, I'm gonna do that with him, but I'm not. No, I'm doing that with everybody, bro. I'm doing that with everybody. I don't want to hear no shit when it comes to Crawford either, bro. I'm the same fucking energy I'm gonna put on him too, because you and Tank and everybody who else is doing it. If T.O. does it, I'm gonna do it to him too. And none of them guys has even made a third of what he's made. And none of them guys have done half of what he's done. I'm not saying that he deserves that amount, Tycho. What I'm saying is keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. You're absolutely right. 200 million is an absurd number. Absolutely right. What other fighter has brought more money or whatever, or has made more? I don't like pocket watching, but we got to keep the same energy, right? You said none of them other guys has ever asked for 200 million. None of them guys, most of them guys haven't even made over 5 million in a fight. Why? Why? Oh man, Sergeant's here, man. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm glad you brought Floyd up. Hold on. Where's that one I was watching? Where's that one? Hold on 1 second. Where is that interview where I was just watching it yesterday? Old interview. I'm gonna find it too. Old interview with Floyd, Tycho. Old interview with Floyd. And they're asking how come the Manny fight wasn't made. And he said, I offered him 30 mil. And they said, but you didn't offer him any of the pay-per-view shares. And he says, nobody gets pay-per-view when they fight me. And they said, but then the fight won't happen. And he says, that's what comes with being the face of boxing. So yeah, he didn't ask for 200 mil, but he was doing the same shit, Tycho. He was doing the same shit. Just a different sandwich. Canelo put mayo on it. He put mustard on it. It's the same shit. His excuses over money was preventing fights. Floyd did it too. He just didn't flat out say, I want 200 million. Let me find that interview for you. Matter of fact, let me find it for you. Let me find it. And I remember I was just watching this the other day because hold on, is this it right here? Hold on. I remember watching it the other day because I was like, I don't remember that. Hey, so I don't get caught up in searching for this. It's a famous interview, man. I don't know if somebody could send me the link. Is that it right there? No, that's not it. That's afterwards. There's a clear interview with Floyd, and they're basically saying, "Hey, the whole world want to see you fight Manny. What's going on?" He's like, "I offered him 30. What was it, like 30 mil, or whatever, right?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, but Manny said that you offered him no pay-per-views." And he says, "I'm Floyd Mayweather. Ain't nobody getting pay-per-view when you fight me." They said, well, then the fight's not gonna happen. He basically was like, huh? I mean, nobody got mad at that. I mean, come on, man. I mean, and that's Manny Pacquiao. That's Manny Pacquiao, not David Benavidez. That's Manny Pacquiao, who was 8th division champion. Like, he did it too. Maybe not in the same way, but he's the reason why we didn't get that fight for so long. Look, man, there to me, there's nothing I can say in regards to him and David as far as I don't think he wants to fight the kid. There's nothing I can really say about that. What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna start shaming his whole career. That sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a hypocrite. It sounds ridiculous, bro, because that means somebody else. Tell me who else. We could pull up the resumes and how many champions they fought in the past 12 fights. You can't. You see what I'm saying? And if you do that with him, like I said, then you got to do that with Crawford. You got to do that with Tank. You got to do that with everybody. I heard 5 people. Mind you, these are random people. But it just goes to show you that the mindset is out there, right? It's clear as day he don't want to fight David. Clear. 200 million. Ain't nobody gonna pay 200 million. Who you know? I don't even know if the Turk Al Sheikh dude, whatever, gonna pay 200 million. I'm not saying he don't got the money, but I don't think he gonna pay 200 million for that. But I done heard 5 different people call up and go, man, I told you, man, that guy's whole career, he a fraud. He a fraud. He a fraud. He cherry picked his whole life. He cherry picked his whole. Okay, well, when you say that, then that makes me think like, okay, then there must be other people that is like so above him as far as like what he's been doing. Let me ask you, does Crawford want to fight Boots? Does he? Because if he don't, how about we just trash his resume too? I'm not going to do it, but I'm saying why don't we do that? Why don't we trash Buzz's resume? I would say trash all of Tank's accomplishments, but I mean, it's not really a long list. Not very a long list at all. Oh, and by the way, man, them dudes that's always talking shit, bro, grow a fucking pair of nuts and click the link, bro. Grow a pair of fucking nuts, man. That motherfucker's typing from anonymity or being anonymous from your mom's basement like 200,000 miles away. Damn, y'all scary, bro. Scary as fuck. I can't even take some of y'all serious, bro. When some of y'all try to insult me over a keyboard, that shit, I can't even take you serious, bro. You scared of a link. What are we doing over here? I mean, Jonathan, I don't agree with what Canelo did, but you're absolutely right. There is double standards in this community. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And this is why I'm careful in the way that I approach Canelo, not because I'm a dick rider, is because I'm gonna look like a hypocrite. These guys don't care if they look like a hypocrite. These guys don't care that when they speak, you could tell they have no boxing knowledge, bro. You could tell they have absolutely no boxing knowledge, bro. Or either that, or you could just tell that they're just a pure fucking hater. He could be criticized all he wants. It's the way they do it. Because only with him, it's weird. It's so weird. Yeah, but Jonathan, where I disagree with that is we shouldn't have to like put a gun to his head to fight David either, though. You know? And I don't like this whole, oh well, his father talks shit. And I don't like that, Jonathan. Like, I mean, it is what it is. He's in the position to do it. I don't agree with that. I just want him to fight the kid, bro. I'm not gonna trash his whole career though, bro. Some of these dudes, they sound fucking dumb. They sound dumb with the shit that comes out of their mouth. It sounds ridiculous, bro. You take any other fighter and you match that resume and count back 13, bro. Count back 14, 15 fights. 90% was current champions, bro. Current champions. Oh my goodness, bro. These dudes sound they sound so funny, bro. They sound so funny. Yeah, I've brought that up before. Hey, you know what? There's really no point in talking about what David does wrong because they're just gonna say, "Well, why are you talking about David?" Or why? This is what I mean. Let me tell you the double standard that I'm talking about, Jonathan. Let me tell you the double standard. I'm gonna tell you the double standard that I see. I don't know about y'all. I'll tell you what I see. Anytime somebody wants to criticize somebody else, they bring up Canelo. They do it all the time. But Canelo does this. But Canelo does that. But Canelo, right? So when you bring up somebody else, oh, why you got to bring about somebody else? We talking about Canelo. And I'm not talking directly to you, Tycho, because this happens all the time. Anytime somebody talks about somebody else, they bring up Canelo all the time. Yeah, but Canelo does this. Yeah, but Canelo does that. Yeah, but Canelo does this. So when you bring up something else, they're like, oh, no, wait a second. Why you got to bring somebody else up? We just talking about Canelo right now. If you bring up David or you bring up anything that David has done, they don't want to hear that, bro. They don't want to hear that. Because I listen, I spent the whole live breaking down the lies that came out of the Benavidez camp, and all I got was pushback. And all I was trying to say is, hey, I'm agreeing with you. Canelo don't want to fight him. I'm just saying you guys don't see this either. That was the whole point of the live. It wasn't to say defending Canelo for not fighting David. I said, yo, he don't want to fight David, bro. I'm saying I also see this though going on. Y'all don't see this? They don't want to see it. I don't know what it is. I've never seen people that are so emotionally upset over a man they've never met. That's just kind of weird. I just find that weird. I also find my friend weird who every time the Giants lose, bro, they don't want to show up to work. I told him, bro, what are you doing? They're running your life. The Giants are running your life. How are you so emotional you won't show up to work, bro? There's people like that. I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I had to show you my face real quick.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, last person that came, he used your name too.
Oh, of course. These guys love me, man.
What's going on, bro?
But yeah, dude, I wanted to just chime in real quickly. I know you said you didn't have a whole lot of time, and I don't
I
either.
always say that, and then my shit goes like 3 hours. But no, really, I was gonna before you talk, I was gonna go to the gym, and I said, man, if I go to the gym, I'm not gonna want to do a live. So I said, let me get this out the way now, you know. And but go ahead, brother. I'm curious, and you know what? I'm glad you're here because I know firsthand that you're not the biggest fan of Mr. Alvarez.
Yeah. Look, I don't. The only I'll go on. I've been on record saying this on my channel too. The only guy that I support on that level is Jose Ramirez because what he does, his humanitarian work outside of boxing. Plus, I think he's a good fighter too. But on that at that level, he's the only one that I give my full support to. Other than the local fighters that I work with here. But you guys don't know who those guys are anyway. But look, I'll say this, man. As far as the 150 to 200 million, look, he's not getting that for
No, no,
Benavidez.
no, he ain't getting
I
that,
don't
bro.
even think that the Saudis would give him that kind of money for that fight. Um, but look, I think the fight is going to happen, though, man. I still do think it's going to happen because I think what's happening here is this, man. And I've talked about this often when I come on here that Canelo is still the big name in boxing right now. I think we all can agree to that. Even his biggest quote unquote haters can agree with that. Um, but with that, with me saying that, PBC still has to pair him in matchups to where they're going to make money because we have to be honest about it as well. Even though he is the biggest draw, he's not doing crazy numbers anymore.
Nobody is
Hasn't
really.
Yeah, hasn't in a while. The only one that has is Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. And that was a fight that wasn't even they weren't even targeting us. And when I mean us, I mean the hardcore fans. Because a lot of
Yeah,
us
but
seeing that
that might
matchup,
have been a one-off, G Funky, because
we'll see. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yesterday when you was on here, we were looking at the Devin Haney and the Ryan Garcia seats, and they're
Yep.
90% empty.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see if that indeed does translate to the next fight for Ryan and Tank, being that they're both going in against two guys that can't draw. And Devin Haney, 50,000 on pay per view. Frank Martin, he's never been on pay per view, and he's the guy who's reported for Tank. So we'll see if that does translate to the next fight for those guys. But going back to Canelo, the one thing that I disagree with what he said in that quick interview was that when he said, "Well, they offered me, 50 million, whatever, I can make that against anybody." No, he can't. That's not true. And I think the fact that they revised that PBC deal and pulled uh, Jamal Charlo and Earl Spence from that deal, that proves that yeah, you can't just put him up against anybody and expect to make money, especially with the guarantee that he's getting, which is 35. Um,
Yeah.
and the fact that he's fighting money.
I disagree with like 90% of the things he said. The only thing I agreed with him on is when he said it'll never be enough. I went through this before with Triple G and basically pointing out a double standard. That I do agree with. And the only reason why I agree with it is because I see it every single day. Every
Yeah,
single
really.
day. I either see two things. I either see like a hyper Canelo fan, right? That they ignore everything that he does. They don't want to call him out on anything. Or I just see people, the people that trash him though, I don't think they realize how they sound. I don't think they realize how they sound because they'll try to trash everything he's done. And if you ask them, okay, so that sounds like to me that there's other people out there doing more, right? Well, give me that list. Nothing's going to come out of their mouth. Nothing's going to come out because there is none. And that's why I say it's a black eye on the sport as a whole.
Hmm.
To me, it's a black eye on the sport as a whole because regardless whether you like him or you don't like him, he's been the face of boxing for years now. So the fact that he's doing this, it makes boxing look bad.
I hear
In my
you.
opinion,
Yeah, I hear
because
you.
I mean, look, I told you that the UFC. Hold on one second. I got to make sure this is Puto. Yo.
Yo, yeah, this is this.
Okay.
Right on. What's up, Puro?
Yo, güey. Chilling,
I'm
man.
good, brother. How
Go
are
ahead,
you?
Puno. What do you think about all
I'm
this,
doing.
man?
Not much.
You gotta say something, bro.
Long story short. Long story short. I mean, what's there to say? I mean, I think everything has been said, bro. I mean, like, no offense, bro, but I mean, like, your lives are like you like repeat, but not just your lives, but everybody's lives repeat the same things over and over again, bro. I mean, what else is there to say?
Whose lies?
Everybody's lives.
Did you say lies or lives?
Lives.
Oh,
Oh
lives.
yeah.
Lives. I thought
Everyone's
you
Or
said
talking about
lies.
it
I was
right
like,
now.
lies. I'm
Or
like, what the hell
uploaded.
have I lied about?
No, or uploads.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna be live. I'm gonna try to go live around 6 or 7 my time, a little earlier than usual. Hopefully, I can get it going at that time. Can't guarantee it, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about this as well. I talked a little bit earlier on another show about it, but going back to my point is that the fact that they went and made this a cross promotion fight with Jaime Munguia, another draw, to me that shows that yeah, even Canelo is to the point now where he has to be in with someone that either number one is already a draw or number two the public is really really demanding he fight uh, for them to give him this 35 million guarantee. The boxing market is just not healthy here in the U.S.
Well,
Man,
hey,
it's just
oh,
not.
wait, before you say anything, I want to say it's not just the boxing market. And before I forget, I'm glad you brought that up. And this is some real shit, not to get off topic. It'll only take 2 minutes. Do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago when I showed you this? You guys remember that?
I didn't see it, brother.
No. What is that?
Okay. I said, I always, I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news, but what I do keep up with is I keep up with current events that happen, like, like the Congress hearings and shit like that, and the stuff that they do show us or whatever, right? And one thing that I always pay attention is I know for a fact that whatever our government tells us or the media, it's never a mistake. There's a reason behind it, right? So a couple of weeks ago, this came out. And basically what it was our government said that they wanted President Biden to sign off on this thing because they found that Russia was going to do something that was the first thing they said was they just got some intel that they're going to do something, right? Then it came back that they said that they're going to launch a satellite. And then on the day that they launched the satellite, this is what came across a lot of people's if you were watching the news that day, this is what came across it, right? Well, I was catching the hearings yesterday, and the shit kind of got me like, I mean, it is what it is. This is why I say I believe in God, and I don't ever try to push my beliefs on anybody, but this is only confirmation because I know what has to happen. But I'm watching it. And so I was thinking, like, why are they so worried about a satellite? Well, it's not just a satellite. Russia launched a missile with a satellite connected to it, right? And it's like a platform, and it's going to slowly drift over to our way, right? And what they're saying is they have a device on there that is supposed to do an EMP, take our electricity down. So they had a guy up there, and this scared a lot of people. So they had this guy up on there. I don't know what you call these guys, but these are the guys that basically they sit back and they calculate what would happen if something bad happened. Like these guys are like experts in the field. They calculate like what would happen if a nuke hit us, right? Or what would happen, right? You know what I mean? 3 different guys got up and said, "Hey, look, man, this EMP is very, very serious because we now live, everything is off our electricity, even tap water in people's towns, our bank accounts, our pharmacies, everything. They started listing off everything that we rely on digitally, right? And they said that if our electricity was to get hit, if we were to get hit with an EMP, it would last at least 3 years. And they said in 1 year, they would estimate at least 85 to 90% of Americans would be dead, because unless you know how to self-sustain and live off the grid and know how you're not going to be able to go to the supermarket. You're not going to be able to get your medication. Forget about going to work. Forget about gas. Forget about all that. Forget about your AC. Forget about, you see what I'm saying? And I'm watching this and I'm like, this is crazy because I feel like something bad is going to happen because our government is so focused on like the wrong shit. Like they're focused on not letting this guy get reelected and everything. And I'm watching this Congress hearing and it's blowing my mind. And I'm like, if more people knew about this, bro, they would be freaking out, bro. They would be freaking out. And I just couldn't believe it. Now you notice how that won't trend. But if Cardi B gets into an argument with her husband,
Yeah.
that's all over the news. So that's what I mean.
Trend.
That's what I mean by like nothing is by an accident. But that's what that was when I brought it up a couple weeks ago. It was about a satellite that they're launching. And the Russians are, so they're sick and tired of us giving money to the Ukrainians and shit like that. They're planning on an EMP. And I'm telling you right now, bro, if that shit hits, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on,
Whoever
brother?
wrote it too, man, is a fucking idiot. But
¿Qué pasó? We is this Fox News or CNN? What are we talking about?
Shadow news.
I brought up what I was talking about, man. Hey, I'm serious when it comes to that, man.
What's
but
good,
it is what
HLD?
it is.
What's going on?
When that shit happens, bro, forget about boxing. I can tell you that right now.
What shit happens when this modern day civilization goes to shit and all these bitch ass men don't know what the fuck to do, not even know how to make a fire? That what we talking about?
HLD, the first one to go.
Hey, that's why
Shit.
that's why I watch Naked and Afraid every Sunday, man.
Yeah, hey, that's the first thing I'm gonna tell him. Yo, babes, you gotta get naked.
That's why I kill everybody with kindness, bro. So you guys can trust me and I'll turn on you guys when the most opportune moment.
Yo, man, that girl got a nice piece of ass, man. We could eat off that booty. Let her dead. So what's the topic, man? All I know is that Canelo turned heel and everybody eating it up.
Yeah, give us your thoughts, man.
I think he's a mess. He's playing the game right. He's playing the game right. The man never talks, right? And so, hey, now it's media day. Now I'm gonna do my shit talking. I've heard all the dumb shit everybody been saying, and now I'm gonna push hard on it. And he masterful job. Masterful job.
But all this shows me though. All this shows me. You know what today confirmed to me? Well, I mean, I already knew it, but I think a lot of y'all knew it. All this confirms to me is that even if it does happen, he's not there. It's not going to end with him. Is what I'm saying.
No, I think
it'll never end. It'll never end. Mark my words. Mark my words. If he fights David, watch.
No, the hate is not going to end. But I love what he did. He turned all the haters from every corner, man, in their feelings. That's what he did. He's got the David Benavidez fanboys crying. He's got the Crawford fanboys crying. He's got the racial demographics crying. Yo, I love it, man. The man knows what he's doing. Nothing that he said yesterday. I mean, if you want to. You got to take it all in the entirety of the context, especially that one clip that keeps on going, because I didn't get to see that until earlier today. Samsung is full of shit. That motherfucker got no money to offer him jack.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? I caught that too because the reason why I believe Canelo is because he even shot down something that would have made him look good. It would have made David to look out like a duck. Like if he would have said, yeah, we did offer him something and he turned it down, right? That would have made David look like a clear duck, but he shot that down. He said, no, that's not true. We didn't send him an offer.
There's no offer. No, I'm talking about what Canelo's shit yesterday. That's what I'm saying. Everybody wanted to take just a little clip and make a little, their little. No, man. He just proved, Samsung Liquids or whatever how you say his last name. He doesn't have jack to offer. He can't offer anything. He is no one to offer. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And yeah, it's true. What does Benavidez have to offer him as far as legacy-wise? Does he bring more legacy than Triple G did? Does he bring more legacy than the other champions he's defeated? No, he doesn't. He brings his 25 pounds of extra lard, his cocaina. Bring the 200. He played every single tune to troll everybody yesterday. 25 pounds, cocaina, and 200 million. Bro, he turned heel and everybody's eating it up. But when he's talking about the money about Lickowitz and the offer, yeah, he can't offer him shit. That's why he went that route. And yeah, you want to really offer him to fight tomorrow? Then yeah, bring so whoever it is out there that wants to bring it, but it ain't Lickowitz. Because Lickowitz can't even bring 50 million, 40 million, 45 million.
Listen. Just if people are gonna keep the same energy, just keep it like look. If we want to hold everybody to what they said. Tank said he don't even want to talk unless he get 2 Ferraris. Fucking Crawford, he's basically said I could do whatever I want. So it's time. Then we can just keep the same energy with everybody.
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking.
No, I'm
what
not
he
saying
said
you. I'm
at
talking
his,
to the community.
right. But I'm saying, but I can only speak. I can only say that I will not. I'm not. What he did yesterday was masterful. I love it, and everybody's
Hey,
talking about it.
hey, Shadow,
Yo,
real quick, man, because I'm gonna bounce right now
yeah,
because I'm gonna try to take care of some things here so I can go live myself at a
yeah,
reasonable time.
yeah, no problem.
um,
Thank you for
but look,
joining me.
yeah, I'll say this before I bounce. This whole bring nothing to the table, and we've talked about this a lot here about with certain fights. Yeah, that's become like an epidemic in boxing. It's happening all over, right? And I'll just give a couple of examples. Benavidez, right? Himself, when it comes to a guy like David Morrell, they'll say the same thing, right? Well, he brings nothing to the table.
Yeah,
Right. So I mean, he's doing it himself, and then not only that, I'll go even lower, right? To the guys that I work with on the club level. I've tried to convince some guys to fight another fighter. I've got that even at that level. What does he bring? Blah blah blah. I'm like,
yeah.
oh Jesus, guys, what are we doing here?
I don't know how many times I heard somebody say, "Yo, David Morrell, who did he fight? He brings nothing to the table." Okay, what the fuck?
When
Yeah,
when Canelo talks about bringing something to the table, that's why he mentioned the money. There was $35 million that Charlo was going to bring to the table. Now, it wasn't him who rejected it. That was PBC. You got Munguia now. There's a guaranteed money on the table for you could fight this dude. That's what Munguia is bringing to the table. Why didn't PBC bring any money to the table when it came with David Benavidez? That's why there was no offer. That's what it's all about. What you going to bring to the table? What are you bringing to the table?
So wait, so you're saying it's so?
I'm a roll, man.
Hey, hold
I'll
on.
be
Before you go,
listening in.
I had one question for you.
Sure.
So you said you still think even with all this that it's gonna happen when in September?
Yeah, man, I
Yep.
think so.
Yep.
It's
I
a
believe
fight
that
that
too.
people
I'm
want to
with
see.
Funky. I'm with Funky on that one.
I believe that.
The fight that people want to see. It's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, I see
I'm
that
being
happening.
optimistic.
I see it happening. I see it happening. And the thing is, he's throwing it out there. Maybe there's some Saudi money eventually that comes into play. You know what I mean? But you got to bring money to the table. And he has not been offered that money to fight Benavidez.
I think G Funky and HLD both have the beat, as a YouTuber says.
$55 million to fight Plant. That's the fight Plant.
Yeah, but I think you have it where it's like Canelo's playing everybody, like Rick Glazier, all that shit. They don't know a fucking thing, and he never left, He just maybe the plan was to fight Jamal, but the Jamal fight, it was what it was, But also, G Funky, actually G Funky wasn't saying it, but I'm pretty sure he's thinking it. I think he's like genuinely pissed at the dude, and he wants to beat the shit out of him. It's gonna be easy work, easy money.
He definitely don't like him. He definitely don't like David.
Yeah. He'll get 200. He'll get 200 million if that's really his sticking point. But money's never been his sticking point. And anyways, I gotta go pick up the reason for the rat race.
I gotta get this workanut, man. I gotta get this workout, man. Because
get it in, guys.
And Tyco TV, Canelo, runs boxing, bro.
Kingpin.
I was proud that like the fucking shit was in Spanish, bro. Like it was different. I don't think I was ever gonna see that in my lifetime. Like
Kingpin
like,
Canelo, man.
was good, man.
Yo,
So, anyways, but yeah, for sure. But I'm out.
all right, guys. Hey, peace out, man. Peace out, Shadow.
All right, man. Hey, before I get out of here, man, listen, I already told you what I think. I don't know. I hope the fight happens, but I don't think he wants to fight the man. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna keep the same energy with everybody. Watch. Ain't nobody getting a pass over here. Till next time, I'm out, bro.